Deep in the heart of the Amazon, a secret moved. It wasn't a jaguar's shadow or a whisper on the wind. It was Kanu, a young horse unlike any other. His coat wasn't a single color. It was a tapestry of greens, browns, and blacks. Like a living mosaic, he blended seamlessly with the rainforest. Sunlight dappled through the canopy, breaking into 1,000 beams. On Kanu's back, these shifting lights made him impossible to see. He was a phantom, a whisper of the jungle itself. He moved silently, his hooves barely disturbing the forest floor. This camouflage was his power, a gift passed down from generations of horses living in harmony with the Amazon. Kanu was no ordinary horse. He was the last of his kind, a guardian spirit in the eyes of the indigenous tribes. They whispered his name with reverence, for they knew the spirit of the forest flowed through him. Their legends spoke of his ancestors, horses who could disappear into the foliage, their coats a living echo of the Amazon's soul. Tupan, the village shaman, found Kanu as a foal. Abandoned but strong, the young horse had the unmistakable mark of the phantom horse on his flank. Tupan took him in, becoming his mentor and guide. He taught Kanu the language of the jungle, the rustle of leaves that signaled a passing snake, the scent of rain on dry earth, the alarm calls of birds high in the canopy. Kanu grew strong under Tupan's tutelage. He learned to navigate the dense undergrowth, his senses sharp. He could mimic the calls of the forest animals, becoming a voice in the symphony of the jungle. Tupan taught him about the delicate balance of the ecosystem, the interconnectedness of all living things. He instilled in Kanu a deep respect for the forest, a reverence for its power and its fragility. Years passed, and Kanu became a powerful presence in the rainforest. He was a silent guardian, watching over the creatures of the jungle. He used his camouflage to protect vulnerable animals from predators, guiding them to safety with a gentle nudge. The other animals recognized him as a protector, a spirit of the forest. They trusted him implicitly, and he became a symbol of hope in the ever-changing landscape. One day, the harmony of the rainforest was shattered. The air, usually filled with the sounds of life, grew heavy with the stench of diesel and fear. Giant machines, like metal beasts, tore through the undergrowth, leaving scars on the landscape. Loggers had arrived, their eyes blinded by greed. They saw only timber, not the intricate web of life they were destroying. Trees that had stood for centuries crashed to the ground, their cries echoing through the forest. Animals fled in terror, their homes destroyed. The rivers, once pristine, ran thick with mud and debris. The very air seemed to crackle with fear and anger. The forest was hurting, its cries for help lost in the din of destruction. Kanu, witnessing the devastation, felt a rage building inside him. It was a primal fury, the protective instinct of a guardian pushed to the brink. He knew he had to act. The forest was depending on him. He raced through the undergrowth, his hooves barely touching the ground. He had to find Tupan. They needed a plan, a way to fight back against this invasion. The fate of the rainforest, of his home, depended on it. Section 4. The Gathering Storm. Kanu found Tupan in the heart of the village, his face etched with worry. The old shaman had felt the forest's pain, had heard its cries for help. Together, man and horse devised a plan, a desperate gamble to drive the loggers away. They would fight fire with fire, tooth and claw, using the very strength of the rainforest against the invaders. Kanu, with his unique camouflage, would be their eyes and ears. He would scout the loggers' camp, learning their routines, their weaknesses. Tupan, meanwhile, would rally the animals, the true guardians of the forest. He would call upon the jaguars with their silent strength, the monkeys with their agility and knowledge of the canopy, the snakes with their venomous bite, a reminder that the rainforest was not to be trifled with. Words spread through the jungle like wildfire. A call to arms whispered on the wind, carried by the rustling leaves and the calls of birds. The rainforest was fighting back. Every creature, from the smallest insect to the largest predator, was united in its fury. They would drive out the invaders or die trying. Section 5. Silent Guardian. Kanu, his coat blending seamlessly with the undergrowth, moved like a ghost through the loggers' camp. He observed their movements, their routines, their arrogance. They were so sure of their power, so blind to the danger that surrounded them. He watched as they felled trees, their saws screaming through the forest like wounded animals. He saw the fear in the eyes of the creatures that couldn't escape, the despair in their cries. He relayed everything back to Tupan, his mind a conduit for the forest's anger. Every felled tree, every terrified animal fueled their resolve. The attack would come at dawn. Under the cover of darkness, the animals moved into position. Jaguars circled the perimeter, their eyes gleaming in the moonlight. Monkeys chattered from the canopy, ready to rain down chaos. Kanu, a silent shadow, waited for his cue. He was the trigger, the catalyst that would unleash the forest's fury. Section 6. Nature's Triumph. The first rays of dawn were met with a cacophony of sound. The monkeys struck first, their screeches echoing through the camp, followed by a hail of fruits and branches. The loggers, caught off guard, stumbled out of their tents, fear replacing their arrogance. Then, the jaguars attacked, their roars shaking the very ground. They were sleek and deadly, their teeth and claws tearing through the loggers' defenses. Snakes slithered underfoot, their venomous bites a constant threat. Kanu, his camouflage falling away as he charged into the heart of the camp, became a whirlwind of hooves and teeth. He sowed chaos and confusion, his presence as unsettling as the animal attacks. The loggers, their greed forgotten, could only scramble to escape the fury they had unleashed. By nightfall, the loggers were gone, their machines abandoned, their dreams of conquest shattered. The forest, wounded but unbroken, began to heal. The air, thick with the stench of fear and diesel, cleared, replaced by the sweet scent of victory. The animals, exhausted but triumphant, celebrated their victory. Kanu, the camouflaged hero, stood beside Tupan, their bond stronger than ever. They had saved their home, proving that even the smallest voice can spark a revolution. The rainforest, battered but unbroken, had taught them a valuable lesson: never underestimate the power of nature.